For all the things you need in one, Hughes Federal Credit Union has the latest payment choices that make your life easy and convenient. Put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union. Smart choice.
Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley here with Greg Hansen. Greg, some news came down earlier this week. The Pac-12 bowing to common sense. That's a change. Announced two things. Number one, a series of fines for teams that storm the playing, or for fans that storm the playing surface. So basketball courts, football fields. I guess the odds softball field storming, maybe. $20,000 to the host university the first time, $50,000 the second time, $100,000 the third time. In a way, this should be called the Sean Miller rule. Is it enough?
Yeah, I think it is. It should be called the Lute Olson rule. He got stormed more than anyone, and I was amazed during the years he didn't take a punch at somebody because he got jostled and pushed. And now Sean Miller has finally called a halt to it. But it's probably about time.
I think it's about time too. And you know what, you look at it, to me, this brings up a big question in terms of costs. You know, universities are trying to be cost conscious in terms of security. If you're somebody like the U of A, do you pay for extra security throughout the year?
Yeah, good question.
If you know almost for a fact that your home fans are never going to storm the floor because you're never going to upset somebody at home?
The Arizona fans have stormed once.
Jason Terry.
Yeah. I remember Reich Neethling, the best swimmer in America, jumped over my shoulder and knocked me down.
Wow.
But once in 30 years. You know, Arizona now has these railings.
Yeah.
It's hard to get over, but you can get over.
Right.
And from the student section, you can get in much easier. I think there's going to come a day when Arizona fans will storm.
Right. Does this go against, I mean, there is a tiny, teeny, tiny part of me that goes, come on. This is college sports. If you're a student, you pay the tuition, you go to the games, you sit in the stands. When your team does well, you should be able to run onto the floor.
And in the 30 or 40 years since we've paid attention to it, only one guy I know of ever got hurt, and that was a columnist from the Des Moines Register, broke his leg.
That's right.
At Iowa State.
Right. And the flip side to that, of course, is the health of the players and coaches, and that's where Sean Miller is coming from here, is that not only do you not want Caleb Tarczewski punching a guy, you also don't want somebody getting trampled, somebody getting pushed over. I mean, we look at the most extreme case, Joe Kay, Tucson High. I mean, a court storming, could have killed him.
Yeah.
So it's tricky.
Well, the one that triggered it all was Colorado, and that was a storm waiting to happen because it was right next to the Arizona bench, and they had no security.
Right.
Whereas at Cal, and they've stormed against Arizona twice recently, they had a whole flock of guards.
Right.
And but they kind of coordinated it.
To me, that's sort of the common sense answer is, you know, at Colorado, you could move around Arizona's bench and get them closer to a tunnel, not right there by the students, and get them out of there as soon as possible. I'm not against court storming. I am against court storming when there are still players, coaches, and officials on the floor. And I don't know if there's a right way to do that. If you can hustle everybody out of there quick, or are these people storming the court so they could see Sean Miller up close?
That's half of it. Yeah. You probably remember this. When Arizona beat ASU in the Territorial Cup to win the division 2 years ago, we were on the field, and Sparky Graham was standing from me to you away from me, and there were U of A fans running in every direction. I don't think they recognized him.
Right.
If it had been someone they recognized like Frank Kush, someone might have gone like that.
Yeah, I know. And you know what I think, what I remember too was, that was not a semi-dangerous situation for ASU. I wouldn't have wanted to be a football player there as 30,000 people tried to storm the field. So it's not just a basketball thing, and it's not just a Sean Miller thing, but Sean Miller has been the most vocal critic, and now it appears this is in response to that.
Yeah, it was about time. And Larry Scott's first, statement about it in February was the rest of the league didn't really care about it.
Right, because it was an Arizona problem.
Yeah.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. For Greg Hansen, I have a confession, by the way. I stormed the floor when Jason Terry hit that shot.
Did you punch anybody?
I did not punch anybody, no. But I got down, turned around, went back up. It was 3 minutes of my life, but something I still remember now.
And you should be suspended at least one game now.
At least one game. I agree. I'm Ryan Finley. We'll see you next time.
True fans live for their team. They buy the gear, they order the tickets, they pay for the seats and the experiences. For those true U of A fans, thankfully there is Hughes Federal Credit Union, offering the latest payment choices such as U of A debit cards, paying online, paying a friend with Pop Money, or using Apple Pay with your mobile phone. Show your U of A spirit and put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union. Smart choice.